Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. I hope you enjoyed the last one. I will say, one thing I have to say is again, sorry for the delay as per usual. Life gets in the way, we had a lot of stuff on the weekend I would have meant to upload then, as was by the post I put out last week. But that has to be postponed until today. Also, one thing that was pointed out to me about my previous video, I did make a bit of a cock up in the editing and wasn't really paying attention because I kind of rushed the editing process, which is bad on my part, obviously, but it was pointed out to me that the intro of that video was the wrong one in terms of my speaking part. It was meant to be the one obviously the Magro vest. However, I accidentally edited in the speaking intro of me talking about a Denison smock badged up for 1 para, which I haven't shown. Generally because I was unhappy with how the video itself went. But I accidentally put that intro when it shouldn't have been. At some point I will be going back to try and fix that, but not right now because I'm just still trying to get my head around those things. It's probably very easy, but for me it doesn't come across, like, as you can tell, editing is probably not my strongest point with some of the videos I put out, but I hope it doesn't dissuade people from some of the other things I put out. Again, I try to do it as best I can. But obviously, I think what happened is when I went through and got rid of the footage for the 1 para Denison, I actually got rid of the intro for the video and then didn't really listen through it before putting it up. I just edited it down. So again, that's my fault. Beside the point. In this video, we are going over some bits and pieces I've picked up over the last few months and last couple of years, actually, which I have not featured on the channel yet. And also, several of those items will be taking part in the next video we'll be recording today as well, which will be focusing on a topic which I've covered already twice on the channel, specifically the same kit, somewhat. Much more better researched, much better kit, and the correct kit, which I will show. Again, I will leave that as a surprise for when I upload that, so people can make their own decision on how it is, and hope that goes well. So, without further ado, I've gone on for well over 2 minutes now. I hope this is really good for some of you, and show some interesting bits and pieces which you might not have seen before. But anyway, let's get on with the video. Okay, first one up, we have this very, very lovely windproof smock. So, this specific one is a very early metric windproof. It's the same kind of quote unquote bleed through as it's sometimes known as. The colours are gorgeous. The construction's very, very good. I managed to get this one with another item which I'll show in a second, in a deal from a very good friend in the Czech Republic, and it's lovely. These will be shown in the next video in a bit more detail to an extent, along with some other bits and pieces that will go together with the same kit. This is basically the exact type that will be seen in the Falklands, and obviously after. The print, as I said, is lovely. As you can see, the pockets are billowed pockets. I have a lot of items in these pockets at the moment. Again, this is for a specific kit. I'll quickly show you the label. So just there we go. There's the sizing and all the other details with it. It's a wired hood, specifically wired hood, which I've rolled and then secured with its tapes and cords. Slide it down. We have a rank slide on the front, as you can see there, and then also the same on the back. Another rank slide. We have a draw cord in the centre to everything around the waist, as you can see there. Back to the front again. We have a zip closure, and then obviously with Velcro or touch and close, however you want to call it. The tape that's on the buttons, I will be changing at some point. This is just a stopgap. Generally, you would see like quote unquote sniper tape put on the buttons to stop the shine, etc. But obviously, I've got lecky tape on here at the moment, which is not correct, but that will change soon. I just want to put something on it just to keep them in place or whatever. So that's that. Velcro cuffs. Now if I just open it up to show you the inside, tell you about the bleed through pattern. It's gorgeous, this smock. Probably one of my favourites. It is a slight bit short in the sleeves. Bar that, it's absolutely great. But yeah, that's that. And we'll get on to the next one. Okay, so here we see a DPM parachutist smock. This specifically is a pre-metric, so size 1, if I remember correctly. Correction, size 2, otherwise it wouldn't fit. Apologies for that. Size 2, which I'll show in a second. This one's badged up to 2 para. As you can see, the wings and the DZ 2 para blue flash. What I have added is the corporal insignia on there, which doesn't need to be ironed down, and my sewing isn't exactly great, but there you go. This, in collector circles, etc., things like that, is known as the 77 pattern. Again, I don't know if that's more of a collectorism or just a general thing. I haven't really seen much. Again, those in the comments will probably tell me otherwise. That's fine. As with most para smocks and things of that nature, knitted cuffs. The print is really, really lovely. And like with this pattern of smock, unlike what comes in the mid-80s, around about 84, 85, it has one pocket on its left sleeve, so button pocket, wide, etc. There is no FFD pocket or first field dressing pocket on the right sleeve. Those are introduced around about 1984, as is with the changeover with the windproof smocks as well. If I didn't point out on the other smock, there is one pocket as in on the same sleeve, no FFD pocket on the other. Again, these changes happened in the mid-80s. The print itself, as I said, is really, really lovely. This manufacturer, I'll show you up here. So we get it onto camera. Here we go. So you see size 2. Just about make up the manufacturer, which is H something Textiles Limited. I can't exactly read it, but someone else will probably know. You can see it better on the camera actually. It's really, really lovely. And again, this was the other item which was picked up along with the windproof smock you've just seen prior from a friend of mine in the Czech Republic for quite a good deal for both, really, considering that these smocks, the para and the windproof, are of obviously Falklands era, are very I don't want to say very difficult to find, but they're very expensive generally. If people selling them know what they're selling, which is generally the case. So, but yeah, lovely piece. I'll just turn it over. This has had the crotch support, so flap, removed. Can never remember what it's called. It's slipped my mind. I've seen people call it the poachers thing. It's nothing to do with that. That's what's on the inside here. This is the poacher's pocket on the inside, which I've added soft kit again for the kit I'm using for what I'll show in the next video. I filled the poacher's pocket with soft kit, which is put in Ziploc bags to keep it dry, but also to give me comfort if I'm sitting ill or laying against anything. That's why they're in there as well for this specific item. But beside that, that's that. And again, only a brief look at it really, but we'll look at it more in the next video. I've sort of given it away then. But yeah, that's that, and we'll get on to the next item. Okay, so on to the next item. We have this, the RAC helmet. That is nothing to do with vehicle recovery, by the way. This is RAC, meaning Royal Armoured Corps. Excuse me. The shell itself is basically exactly the same type that was used in World War II by Royal Armoured Corps units and dispatch riders, etc., obviously with slightly different liners. But obviously the shell itself derives from the HSAT, so Helmet Steel Airborne Troops, or the airborne helmet, whatever you want to call it, para helmet, etc. The shell is basically the same with some slight differences. This one is the latest style with the lift the dot system in the centre, as you can see there. This has the later liner, which you see in the Mark IVs of the time as well. So the sort of sponge jumpery liner, very comfortable. Does get a bit itchy, but is a good liner in my personal opinion. The helmet itself is a single point chin strap. Also 2 point, sorry, I should say not single, 2 point chin strap. Exactly like that of its basic, but it's the same helmet that the units that this was issued to were wearing in World War II as well. So that's basically the thing. It's got a Hessian cover, as you can see, and then a net on it as well to keep everything in place. Very, very good. Again, worn by Royal Marines, armoured units, members of the Royal Navy as well, during the Falklands War, and obviously during the Cold War in general. Really, really good little bit of kit, and nice to have in the collection. Okay, next item, which is a bit different, is this. This is the Saws kit unit. So I picked this up a little while ago, actually, probably April time, just by chance. I didn't really know about this kit until about 2 years ago. I've probably seen it in passing, but never really paid attention. So SAWES, so Saws. Can't remember what it stands for off the top of my head. Again, this is just in thing. This is basically the predecessor to what the British Army and other NATO units use today, really, in terms of laser training modules. This is the sight unit. The sight system itself is basically exactly the same as that used on the suit sight for the A1A1 SLR. Just see there, probably a bit more. There we go. There we go. Just see if I can find the camera. There we go. There we go. There we go. No, you get what I mean. Basically, it's a long point that comes down to the center of the sight itself. So, basically, this laser module has its own battery pack. Well, this is the battery pack and the laser system within it. So as you can see there, basically, this system is connected to a wire that goes down to the trigger. So when you fire the round, i.e. the blank round, which is connected to a small unit which is on the end of the rifle as well. So when you fire the weapon, as long as you're pointing the sight, so to speak, at the individual, and it registers a hit with the laser system onto that individual's module system, which they're wearing, as is the fire of this one, you basically it will basically register as a hit. As you can see, this is the rail system for the SA-80. When this originally came out in the early to mid 80s, might have been a bit earlier, but generally it's that. It would have the system for the L1A1 SLR on it. This is obviously slightly later because this stayed in service for a while. Very cool bit of kit. Something you don't really see every day. Again, a bit like the suit sight and the SUSAT. I think it uses tritium for the sight posting, etc. But something really, really interesting. I'll try and might do something to cover this a bit more in detail. Again, I don't have the wearable equipment for it, as well as some of the other bits and pieces that go with this system. But I will hopefully show that in the future. So on to the next one. Okay, last but not least for this video, there are several more items, but not really mentionable really that I've picked up. But these are the main sort of items I've picked up over the last few months and even years, which haven't featured yet, but are just really, really nice sort of show. So here we have a Barbour jacket, if people can obviously tell. This is a Selway zipper specifically. So very popular in the early to late, well, very popular generally in general, really. Selway zipper, popular with especially Royal Marines and the Falklands. I've seen multiple pictures of, sort of specifically for the channel, 1st Battalion Hampshire guys, or just Hampshire guys in general. I should say, favouring this type of jacket. And again, it's a good stand-in for some other bits and pieces as well. Obviously, it's a great jacket, just a great jacket in general, because one, it's waterproof, it's well built, and it's Barbour. It's generally really good. So this has a fabric collar, as you can see, which has like a sort of well, basically corduroy collar, really. Really, really nicely built. Popper fly and zip itself. Top breast pocket, sort of slightly lower than the breast itself, but yeah, nice large pocket itself with poppers, or press studs if you want to call them. On the left hand side, not one on the right. Two lower sort of hip pockets, you could kind of say, sort of billowed as well, which is really, really nice. really well built, and just a great bit of kit really. If I open it up like this, takes a bit of time, but hey ho. It's got like a double fly as well, so it keeps it even more protected, like a wind flap. Open it up, and you can see the liner, or the front liner itself, which is lovely. Really, really nice, sort of tartan-esque pattern, plaid pattern. Inside pocket here as well. Very, very good. A lot of storage. Very warm, waterproof, as I said, and just a great bit of kit in general. As I said, you see a couple of guys in the Royal Marines and some other units wearing these down in the Falklands in 82, and you see them throughout the 80s with other units in the army as well. Just because they're a great bit of kit, you do start seeing in the late 80s, and this is coming from experience told to me directly. My father, for example, along with a lot of the guys in his regiment, and well, I'll say platoon or company, did a large order of the DPM Barber jackets, which were very popular in the 80s, and you see them a lot. Sadly, I can't get my hands on one of those, and well, I could get my hands on it, but for a very hefty price, and probably not the best. Well, I say not the best. Well, not the best probably thing for me. Dropping over £1,000 is what they go for these days on a jacket. So that's beside the point. But anyway, that's the Barber jacket. I hope you like that. Actually, there is one thing we haven't covered, which I will cover now. So now we got onto the pièce de résistance. You can probably tell what we're going to be talking about. That's right. It's a vacuum cleaner. No, I'm joking. It is a L1A1 SLR. So this one specifically is old spec, or whatever you want to think of old spec in UK terms of deactivated weapons. Wood furniture, of course, generally because it's what I preferred. In terms of everything I've showed already on this video, this is more expensive than all of those put together, and some more. Sorry, excuse me. I've been after one of these for so long. Obviously, you would say, well, Jake, you already had an L1A1. Yeah, that was an Airsoft Ares one. They're good. However, this is better. And it's something that I've been wanting for a long time, as I said. And it's something that will only increase in value as time goes on. And it's more robust. It's more likely to last. And it's just better for the collection in general, really. So as you can see, I've got the safety off at the moment. That's silly. That's very, very naughty of me. But, you know, whatever. Let's put that back on. So, UB62, so 1962. If I remember properly, UB, I think, is Enfield. I can't remember. It actually might be Birmingham, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it might be Birmingham. But yeah, there's the serial numbers and the thing. Marked for the selector. So, S for safety. R for repetition. So, that's semi-automatic in British terminology. So, safety and repetition. The catch to basically break the weapon open, which you can. I won't do it at the moment just because it's a bit of a ball ache with one hand. So you can break the action open, remove top cover, bolt comes out, along with the recoil rod, etc. Gets a stock. I can fully access the butt trap, etc. Magazine comes out. Haven't got the magazine with me at the moment. It's in a pouch, I think. Carry handle. And obviously charging handle, which I have put some lecky tape around just because the corners on it do cut into my hand sometimes. So I'm just like, it just makes it more comfortable. But it is fully working, which I will show in a second. Okay, so here's the L1A1 in hands. The magazine is out to make sure the weapon's safe. Putting on the cocking handle, making sure the weapon's on safety as well. Putting the cocking handle to the rear. Checking the action, checking the breech is clear. Dropping the action. Taking off safe and putting the fire in the action. You can do the same by racking the action to make sure the weapon's fully clear. Dropping it down, off safety, fire the action, back on safety, and that's generally a safe weapon. Again, different procedures for different things. That was kind of like I was doubly doing it, so you don't really need to do it much, but yes, whatever. That's the weapon in its entirety, really. I will probably cover this in more detail later on. Great bit of kit. Been wanting a real one for a long time. Now I do. But yeah, it just has a different sort of thing for it. And you can definitely feel the weight difference between this and an L1A1 SLR Airsoft one. So especially with the real proper wood, not the flimsy, crappy, shitty wood that's on the Aries one. But beside that, people will probably say, "Oh, the drill was different. I just did that was wrong." Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Oh well. But yeah, that's beside the point. So sighting there goes all the way up to basically it's marked for 600 yards, but you could probably go a bit further. Gas system. It's all there, and the markings for it are there. You can see there, which is kind of cool. And the gas plug is there, can be twisted, removed, and the whole gas tube comes out that way. There's the flash hider for the bayonet lugs, etc. And as I said before, the butt trap as well. But yeah, that's the 1A1 SLR. Great bit of kit. Absolutely love it. Glad I got it. And again, let's go to the final word at the end. I really hope you enjoyed that, guys. Again, something different, or something I haven't done for a while. I think the last time I probably showed excuse me, things I picked up was probably last year, early last year, probably February time, after Stoneleigh. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. As I said at the start, a couple of items in this video will be appearing in the next one for that kit layout, and I hope that is interesting to anyone who wants to watch it. But as I always say, I really hope you enjoy it in general, and I hope you enjoy the channel in general as well. Even with the little cock-ups and mistakes I make, these things just happen. We can't catch everything. And again, it was only 2 days ago I was made aware that the video that I'd done the previous video I did with the Magro vest had some had some balls ups with the editing in it, let's just say. But I appreciate the friend of mine who told me that. Really do appreciate that. It allows me to actually go and improve and actually sometimes pay attention, even when I'm a bit tired when editing, especially late at night. But beside the point, I hope this was enjoyable, and I will see you guys later on. If you want to like, comment, and subscribe, it's always much appreciated. But anyway, bye for now, guys.